Well, you won't get a lemon from Toyota of Orange.
Wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
Drug-free's the way to be.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, Miss Musso, we were just doing a promo.
Welcome to Home Wrestling League.
I am Penny Dreadful, joined by Drew No Gimmicks Needed Bradley and Crystal the Casual at the Unicorn Soundboard. And this is Home Wrestling League, where we always check the ropes. Always. All three of them. Before anyone comes out. But, we'll get into that, ye old botch in a minute. Jeff Hardy's back in TNA. I really want him to not. I really want him to get well for real. I really want him to take a nice long break and get healthy because I don't feel like he is. And I want him to be around for a long time. I don't know why that's happening.
Some of those guys just love wrestling. I mean, if you watch some of those early episodes of Monday Night Raw and shit, like him and Matt are the enhancement talent. Like
Yes.
They've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, also, I think he should wrestle because if he doesn't wrestle, we might get more of his poetry.
His what? Oh, no.
Oh, you don't know. Okay,
well,
so
I don't know. And you know what? Will it make him healthy? I don't know. But what do I want to know about this poetry?
Crystal's gonna look it up. But yeah,
does he make videos of poetry slams?
Oh no! He writes his own. He writes his own poetry.
He posted
2007, 8. I think he was on his blog and shit, and
blogs.
Yeah, he had poetry.
Yeah, so I found. Oh God, this is an old website. Good Lord. Well, I don't know if this is his website, but it's an Angel Fire website.
It might be shit.
And it's it's a poem by Jeff Hardy. This poem is from Raw Magazine. It is written by Jeff Hardy, and I think it is a beautiful poem. Hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I don't know if I'll read the whole thing. This is Empty Tank by Jeffrey Hardy.
It's bad.
Here I am again, tired from not sleeping, sad from not loving. I feel miserable again, here on this plane, here on this earth, I think is what that's supposed to say. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I've done it again. I stayed out all night. I feel it again. I dread this flight. Why? Because I'm sick of being owned. I write because I am sick of being known. If I was normal, would she like me the same? If I was just a stock boy, would she still enjoy my name? I'd like to think she does and would. I believe in her and believe in me she should. I'm going to lean my head against this window, close my eyes and go to sleep. I'll wake up in the next town with thoughts beyond deep. That's all I'm going to read.
God. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, that's I mean, some of it rhymes.
I would take it. Some of it rhymes. I would take it. Look, I don't think, and I guess a lot of people thought he was terrible when he was in his matches in AEW. I thought it was kind of hit or miss. What was good was just fine, and what was bad was really bad. But it wasn't really bad all the time. Yeah, you just kind of can see that maybe he needs to write some terrible poetry.
I just like how you made that.
He does.
You made that rhyme. That's the funniest part about what you just said. Is you literally just made this rhyme right after that fucking poetry slam we just heard.
I want him to take the time to be well, and if terrible poetry is a way to do it, then do it.
Then swell, right?
Then swell. Bars. I hope that, you know what? We'll probably see him do 3 months and mess something up and then do the addict shuffle, that, consistent thing we see, with addicts. I hope we don't, but don't have a lot of hope for that. And I want to have more hope for him. Quick review of Raw. Io gets her lick back over Lyra, and they're great together. I could go for number 3 right now. They're fantastic. I really love it when two competitors have similar styles and similar body types. That's good. And both of them really know how to work that crowd. They're great. Io seems to be getting crazier and crazier. And I didn't know she could do that. Like I thought we reached like a base level amount of crazy with EO. We're not even there. There's more to go. It's fucking fun.
Stupid, sexy, crazy EO Sky.
She's fucking nuts. I love it.
The sad part about that match was the fact that there was a wardrobe malfunction and it got slowed down. Like,
oh really? I think I missed that. Who?
Yeah. So Lyra's did a front flip off the top. I think something gets caught and then her breast came out. But, yeah.
It must have been quick if no one really talked about it.
Yeah. Like it happens and you're like, oh shit, poor girl. It's a thing where you see it and you're like, oh, I wasn't supposed to see that.
And then you feel guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caden and Katana came out to defend Lyra because, of course, after that match, Damage Control started beating her. So I guess that means we get a six-woman tag team. Yes.
Soon
the NXT babies on the come up. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Look at the NXT babies on the come up. I always love to see them. You know, like the new kids getting time on TV. That's fantastic. I feel like all of them were in NXT very recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a decade ago when NXT
was it already a decade? God damn.
NXT started 12 years ago. And
Really?
then when it got popular was when it was PWWEG. Like that's what it was, where they would have these long matches and some shit.
Yeah.
Like it was must see TV because oh my God, Sami Zayn is going against Finn Balor. That's so fucking cool. Being able to see a lot of these people transition into the main roster, it's been cool. Like Kevin Owens was only in developmental for 5 months.
Really? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Dom returns to the ring. He's back. You know, his elbow's better, I guess. Comes back with the most Mexican mustache ever.
Man, looks like he belongs on the bottle of hot sauce. Like,
all that's missing is a terrible sombrero.
Oh man, I didn't believe you, and then I looked and I was like, dude, you look like my dad in 1985. Like, what are you doing?
Seriously, I love how hard he's leaning into it. Oh God,
man. Everything has come back. The 80s are here to stay, guys.
Yes,
they really are in every aspect.
That match was just fine. Every week they manage to do something more ridiculous with Liv and Dom.
The hotel key.
Yes. We're going to be making those jokes for months. Goodness. I heard someone say on another podcast, can't remember which one, that Dom might draw more heat just for turning down Liv's advances.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, Dom, what's the matter? Why? Oh, Jesus. It's funny. And that hit off the knocking the woman off the apron move. Very classic. The way she landed on it was so ridiculous.
God. Then the room key shit. He is. I mean, I know we talked about it last week because we were recording Monday, but man, this man is just going through this amazing time. And then the funniest part about that whole sequence with the room key is they used the technique that there's an episode of Community that uses where it's the one where they're trying to find out who took the pencil.
Oh yes, I love that one. Jesus.
So
not to be the monkey.
Yeah, on Raw they put it on the table. They all put their hands in to be like 1, 2, 3 Judgment Day.
Yeah.
The thing because the whole storyline with Carlito and how much Priest hates Carlito because he fucked up his match last year. Yeah. The Carlito's on the side and he's like, hey, come in and do the hand thing with us. As that's happening, that's when Finn puts the room key in his pocket. I'm saying that because there's an episode of Community that literally does the same thing with the monkey. And Donald Glover says something really fucking crazy on screen. And then at the bottom, you can see the monkey grab the pencil.
Really? I got to go back and look at it closely.
Yeah, you could see him. You can see the monkey grab the pencil clearly.
parade this afternoon.
Oh, I want to lick it.
Beautiful. I totally missed that. I got to go back. Excellent. So all these machinations with Liv, mostly with Finn, like, I guess we'll see. But I wonder what dumb thing they'll do tomorrow. Every week you get sillier and sillier. I don't know if I'm supposed to. How do you feel about it? Is it? It's, to me, it's silly in a fun way.
It's silly in a fun way, but
Yeah.
we live in the time of
Extreme silliness.
no. You have to walk a fine line because
Yes, it's true.
like you don't want to offend people's sensibilities.
Mhm.
And wrestling is one of the few things that like left, right, like everybody likes. Like
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
so you don't want to offend their sensibilities. So
Yeah.
the fact that she's a little bit aggressive is more comical, but I
Yes.
feel like there'll be some think pieces from an unhappy
Yeah, no, I
person
mean-
online.
Yeah. They're on the way
I mean,
for sure.
you know, because I think the reason why it does work is because there isn't really a perceived power dynamic between the two of them. Like she doesn't hold anything over him, he doesn't hold anything over her. So I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
true.
it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like two people where she's
Mhm.
not getting the fucking hint.
Yes.
Like I said, it's very Pepe Le Pew.
Well, yeah, it is, but at the same time, we know what's going on. He's with her. He's just like
It's drama. It's drama.
it's just drama. It's just
Yes.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's
That's
silly
true.
drama. But yeah, I think
Silly
that's why
drama.
it's because that's just me like looking at it from, you know, my sort of outsider perspective. Like I
No,
don't
I think you're right. Yeah.
I don't see that, you know, she's not like now if she were someone who for whatever reason, like let's say she was technically like a champion of some sort or like had like a big
Well, she
thing,
is, but
well,
like,
is she like
she's-
a bigger
yeah.
than him or is it
See?
on the same
Mhm.
level?
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I feel like you could not absolutely in this day and age could not have a guy do this.
That's true.
Not today. Now I know back in the 90s that would have gone.
Mhm.
That would have been fine.
Yes.
But so I think that's why they did it this way. And it is funny because she's sort of like she's like the hot girl in school,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And he's not that he's ugly, but he's not that guy. He's not the hot popular guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're
He's
right.
kind of with the weirdo people.
Yes.
For now.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny to
And
show
he's
that
not
she's
even
like,
the main guy in his own group. Like he
Right,
doesn't have the
so-
power there. Mhm.
right. It's funny to see she's like, here's my room key, and his friend's like, bro,
Yeah.
I'm gonna save your life and take this room key from you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna save you the trouble.
Well, guys, I guess I'm gonna have to fuck Liv Morgan to get out of the situation.
Dang,
Oh,
terrible.
fuck.
The worst.
It's like,
This is
hey,
the worst.
hey, I'm gonna go to Liv Morgan's room key, but you owe me fucking dinner, okay?
I am taking one for the team.
Fucking dinner.
Oh, look at this. Taking that left arm over the middle rope. There's something about Eva Marie. Like her or not, I mean, week after week, we see continued improvement. We see all the skills that she's...
Ricochet gets sent off in an ambulance, effectively being written off. I don't care what anyone says. That's writing off. Especially when you get power bombed onto a windshield and you get put in an ambulance and, you know, accompanied by a crying pretty woman, that's getting written off. He's not coming back. I don't care what anyone says. You know what? And I've heard a lot about it over the last week from like different perspectives. And I think that it seems like everyone outside of WWE values him more than WWE does.
Yeah.
Is that just me?
Yeah, I think that's kind of why they gave him the speed championship, because they're like, hey, we want you to stay. But
Exactly.
what's going on now is you can't really have him go against Cody because
Yeah, no.
it's Cody.
Mhm.
And then you gotta let the fucking meat cleaver hands to, you know, when he wins at SummerSlam.
Hands, exactly.
When he wins at SummerSlam, like he's gonna have to have a long reign. So like he can't
Mhm.
move up.
Exactly.
Like
He's been in the same position for like a while. And I kept hearing some of like, you know, maybe it'll be a surprise and like, you know, they'll still be able to figure him in later with, you know, Braun and Ilya. And I'm like, but that's not gonna happen not because it couldn't happen, not because it's you know, impossible. for them to do that. But because of the messaging and the treatment of him that we've seen over the last year and a half, that would make no sense. If they wanted him to be involved and to really put him over in different ways, they would be doing that. And they wouldn't do it out of nowhere now. Everyone seems to love him a lot more because people are like, why would you let him walk away? They have been essentially letting him walk away because he wasn't on TV for a long time, like months. And when they brought him back, it was to put over the new kids. It makes sense for him to leave, especially in this way.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing. Like the first thing I open up, I look at Twitter and Liv Morgan has "Happy Father's Day, Daddy," and it's a picture of her and Dom.
The commitment to the bit is strong.
Isn't
I
it just?
admire it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh wow.
And I also like positioning herself as like the antithesis of Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know what? And I think that hurts her. You know what? For real, it does hurt her her reign as champion because this is what she's focusing on instead of like being the top of the division right now.
That's
what all she's focusing on.
Like her Rhea,
exactly.
Like Rhea
exactly
just disappeared from her division for like months, and because it was all Judgment Day shit. So like that belt is synonymous with people that aren't Becky Lynch not defending.
Yep. And it hurts that title. It hurts the reign of both of them, and I think it hurts both of Liv's title reigns because her first title reign was trash, and this next one's not that great, not for reasons that have anything to do with her in particular, but it hurts that title and the division. I'm not crazy about it. The story is fine, that's great, but it kind of gives like other Drew focusing on the wrong things. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Pat doing the announcing in lieu of Samantha was pretty fucking funny. That was crazy too. That was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that Pat is back. Pat should always be there. Even when I didn't like him, and it took me a while to get used to him, I understood like his function there. You know what I mean? Like he belongs there.
He made Michael Cole happy.
Right? Yes.
Like when he showed up at the perfect time because like Michael Cole was just like, I have to hear this old octogenarian muscled out freak yell in my ear every week about some bullshit.
Is he in his 80s already?
Vince is 78, so
we pushing it. Yeah, about to be. Shit.
And when Pat came along and they was on SmackDown, you could see like
it was SmackDown.
Michael Cole just be like, "Oh, this is fun."
Yeah.
And then when Vince left, the first time they're like, "Oh, this is cool." And then when he brought him back, when they brought Pat back,
full time,
and then now it's just like, oh man, Michael Cole is just having the time of his fucking life.
Yeah,
it's like this man was corresponding on Wars, and the hardest thing he's ever had to deal with was dealing with Vince McMahon.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's where he came from. He got. You remember Todd Pettengill?
Oh yes, Todd Pettengill.
Todd Pettengill gets fired, and then I think a week later, Michael Cole shows up. So he was his replacement.
Okay. Oh, it's been a minute. Wow. Been a long time.
It's almost 30 years.
Shh. Oh my God, we're getting so fucking. Oh Jesus. Okay, but overall, good go home for Raw. Getting into Dynamite. I need you to explain to me because I knew that you were going to be right about Jericho. I want you to explain to me how you knew that it was going to work, because most people's complaint was that he wasn't putting over the young kids, which I agreed with, but he's doing that now and picking up Big Bill and Bounty Hunter in this new thing, and all of them being super big, like cornballs, just being corny as hell. So I needed a break from him, and for me, changing your look, gimmick, and entrance song is not going to be enough for me to personally not be tired of him. But why is this working? Is it because he's bringing new people?
It's because he's bringing in new people, and it's just something that is different. So what makes a lot of these things work is people are like, "Oh, that's different," and then once they realize something is different, they tend to
Respond
get
to it.
it, respond to it, and
Mhm.
once they respond to it one week, then you play it up a little bit more,
Mhm.
and then like I forgot, like he's just playing into that corny CM Punk role because
Yeah.
that's his
Corny
character.
know-it-all. Yes.
It's a corny know-it-all. Like he
Mhm.
was telling them how to grow their fucking
Yes.
plants there. He was telling the driver, like, hey, you need to go you need to go to a full stop before
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
turn, like
Yeah.
shit like that. So he's just a corny know-it-all, and it works.
Mhm.
Like I knew it was gonna work from the beginning because I've just watched wrestling a lot because he's just going diametrically different, and
Mhm.
it just things like that tend to work. Like I was telling Crystal in the kitchen because we were talking about this thing with Kate McKinnon. She did this video like a decade plus ago before she went to SNL,
Oh, this
and
video.
it's about grabbing hair and well, it was like a sex thing. Like Nina
Uh-huh.
Hartley was there.
Nina
Okay.
Hartley teaches Kate McKinnon how you should grab somebody's hair during sex.
Yes. And then like she does it to Kate McKinnon, and Kate McKinnon's just like, oh God. Oh.
No, yeah, you see it in her face. Like,
Mhm.
because Nina Hartley is being a professional, it's her job. She's an educator.
Mhm.
That's what a lot of her stuff was educational. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
in the sense of how to have better sex.
She's an educator, all right.
Yeah, exactly. She was there for adult education.
I say that because Nina Hartley has had a career for like 5+ decades.
Mhm.
And the wrestling comp would be Jericho, where it's like they connect with the crowd very easily.
Mhm.
And they know the right buttons to push
Right.
to get a reaction.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess he was doing that a few weeks before they started doing the setup in the ring with the tree and the thing. He's a step away from putting a big comfy couch in that bitch. Osprey versus Phoenix was just as good as it was touted to be and was supposed to be. You get two guys exactly this kind of the same thing. Both of them similar styles, similar body types, doing exactly what they do. Perfect stuff. Great. But at the end, that was a little weird. With
He's holding both belts.
yeah, okay? Why did he just let him take it from him? Because when that happened, I thought for sure he was just gonna attack him.
No,
No, he kind of
they're
let
two
him.
faces.
Why?
Because
It was weird.
if you attack Will Ospreay at this juncture, you are the heel.
True. Yeah.
So that's why he was just like, so yeah.
And then he like leaned in and said, "Anyone else I put in the grave?" I was like, I don't know. That makes me nervous because you have to have. Look, they surprised all of us. No one saw it coming that it would be Forbidden Door when they put those two together. So I feel like he has to put on an aggressive stance when dealing with him. I think he should be. He has to be very serious about it. Like you should put anyone in the grave who tries to take it from you.
It's weird because it's too early for Ospreay because like he's barely defended the belt. You might as well wait to do it. Like it's gonna be a 60-minute draft. Like that's the
You
only
think
way
so?
this can.
God damn.
It's gonna be a 60-minute draw, and they're not gonna be like, well, time. Sorry.
I
Like
don't want
that's.
to draw at a pay-per-view though. Shit.
Well, I mean, you don't want it. It's gonna happen. Like the only time that Daniel or Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega wrestled, they wrestled to a draw.
At a pay-per-view?
No, that was an episode of Dynamite. It was.
That's what I mean. They usually save draws for their weekly shows where they don't exactly want to, when they don't want to make a definitive choice or put the belt on someone else, they'll do it at Dynamite. At your pay-per-view, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, WCW used to do that. A lot of times they would. A lot of times it would just be a 30-minute draw on Clash of the Champions.
That's true. And there'd be a bunch of literal garbage in the ring at the end of it anyway.
It's like that was a fucking Wild West back then.
Right? That ring would be full of cups and like empty beer cans anyway, no matter what they were doing.
It's like, y'all not gonna stop this at all?
Oh shit. I don't know. That makes me nervous. It doesn't bode super well for me. Do you think he could take it? No.
I mean, I think he could. I think it's a better story if they wait until September.
Yeah, me too. It's
because
so weird.
we haven't had a strong swerve yet. So
we haven't, not yet. No.
You might as well just let it go on. And
Mm-hmm.
like the problem with AEW a lot of times is the journey is the more interesting thing than the actual destination.
100%. Yeah.
So if they could fix that,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of shit would be great.
Mm-hmm.
There's only two faces that have had the belt that have ever, like, it's been cool that they've had the belt for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Moxley, and then MJF. And yeah, it's MJF towards the second part of his reign.
Yeah.
When he became face.
A quick SmackDown go home before we get into Clash of the Castle. This is when I noticed that we're putting a noise meter on the screen. That is messy. Of course, the Scotland crowds were going to put everyone to shame in America. Of course, they're going to be fucking loud.
They have the exact decibels on
Yes.
Bleacher Report. 100.
I mean, shit.
100 decibels.
As much as those people had to pay to go to that fucking thing,
I'm
making
No,
noise.
yeah, wasn't it
I'm
like-
haha, this is the greatest thing ever.
But wasn't it like it was
A
like
non-WrestleMania,
something?
the fuck out of here.
It was like at least like 1K something per ticket or something, wasn't it?
I know it was something
it was-
fucking ridiculous.
It was
It's like-
it was up there. They were complaining about it. I remember
Mhm.
last time we talked about. They were like,
Yeah.
"You're basically pricing out all the fans
And then,
of
yeah,
the show."
and honestly, it's a weird, fucked up thing, but at the same time, it's great because a lot of people who would just cause nonsense can't afford to go.
I don't know. You went to that one show, remember? There was a guy causing nonsense at that one. He could afford to go.
Well, no, because he probably did the same thing we did because he started off in the poor people section and then he was
Oh,
just
okay,
like,
that's true.
he-
We did that too. Yeah.
I guess that was a likely event to get priced out quickly because they never go there.
yeah.
Of course, everyone
True.
was gonna pull out all the stops, all the cents, all the euros to go to that. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, of course, if you go, you're gonna make a bunch of fucking noise.
Yeah, what do they got? Medical bills? The fuck out of here! No, they got disposable money.
They have they have the money that we Americans don't have.
Exactly. More what's the word that the people use?
Discretion.
Disposable income.
Disposable. We're not discretionary. Disposable income.
Discretionary,
Discretionary is
same thing.
for. Isn't that for like businesses though?
I think so, but
Like I think it's for business, but that means the same thing. It's petty cash.
Exactly.
We can do what we want with it.
Yes.
Americans don't have that. We're not
Nope.
allowed.
No. Yeah. I had thought it was interesting to put Chelsea in a match instead of Piper, but that was okay. I guess I would have preferred to see both of them in a tag match before Clash at the Castle, but okay.
They did the tag match the week before.
Well,
That's why.
I would have preferred it right before Clash at the Castle, but you know what? It's cool. Chelsea Hive. I'm always glad to see Chelsea in the ring. Just
Oh god.
hamming it up every time.
Which is hilarious because later on that night when they have the backstage segment,
Mhm.
when it goes from Austin Theory, Bailey, and Naomi, they're walking into where they're stopped and talk,
Mhm.
and you could see Chelsea and Piper not realize the camera was on them, really just run to the background and hide. And the thing that they did to cover it up was they added the
Monkey? Is it a
no,
monkey?
the Bray Wyatt thing that's going to finally.
Yes, that's what it
happen
was.
tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, there was like a broadcast where
was
there was
that might have been one of those obvious ones that I've seen because it watched the whole screen over for like a good 2 seconds.
yeah, it was just like massacre is coming. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I guess they guess they might do something. Like, it's not like it's shit or get out the pot. Like tomorrow night, the end of the show is going to be about them fucking yahoos just destroying shit.
Just over an hour west of Scotland's capital, Edinburgh, is the city of Glasgow. Once a small fishing village, Glasgow grew into one of the great seaports during the Industrial Revolution, its influence rippling to every corner of the globe.
All right, so let's get into Clash at the Castle. We had a nice pay-per-view in the morning for us. Thank God again. They began with AJ and Cody. Now, this is always going to be Cody's win, obviously. Not going to go any other way. But I think recently, and with this match in particular, they've gotten good at putting on matches that have obvious outcomes, but are still good, but are still competitive.
With the match, like everyone knew what it was going to be, and when I saw that was going to be the opener, I was just like, huh, oh, okay,
right?
Because because we all know Cody's going to win. Because I thought the way you sequence it, because there's 5 match cards. It's not like a bunch. So
yeah,
if the ending doesn't happen the way it happens, it would be the fourth. They would be the 4th match because everyone knew what the main event was going to be.
Right.
And yeah, it would have been that. But when I saw that, I'm like, that's kind of odd,
isn't it? Yeah.
Because I thought Drew. Well, we'll get into it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure what was going to happen was going to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
One thing that needs to be talked about is when AJ comes out, you can see the referee whisper something in his ear, and he's checking the rope, and the ropes are too loose.
Someone called it right away.
Yes,
on camera.
The referee.
Why did it not make it to anyone else?
The referees the referee told AJ the ropes are loose. Okay, cool.
Be careful.
So that's gonna play into our review because there are multiple instances where the ropes fucked up.
Yep.
Which is gonna lead to the main event.
Why couldn't anyone radio someone in the back and be like, "Oh, hey, watch out for these ropes"? Never mind. Whatever. And you know what? It's still AJ was still able to manage it because he attempted that phenomenal forearm into a chair and then onto a table. That could have gone a million horrible different ways because of the rope situation. And he was still able to pull that off. I expected some blood. I did not see that coming at all. So that was fun. That was good.
And then anytime Mama Rhodes comes out, it's just like,
right?
Look at this classy lady.
Yeah.
Look at this classy lady. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yes.
That is funny.
And she
Every
slaps
time she
him.
shows up, she's just cussing and yelling at everybody.
You know, I usually hate any sort of involvement from family members at ringside, but I wasn't mad at that. That was funny. Did she ever get to smack Brock? Would
No.
she, you think?
Come on. This man is literally held a documentary hostage to make him not look crazy. You really think
you would let someone hit him?
He's one of the 3 movie stars in Hollywood.
The 3?
One of which smacked a guy on the Oscars and they gave him an award directly after, an hour or 2 after. So, you're not smacking.
They changed their mind at that point.
It's they did all the dumbass groundwork for an all right movie.
Oh God. I did love that he put the steps in front of him and he quit, but that he hit him with the steps anyway. I need for Cody to have a little bit more backbone. I need him to, he's been kind of the white meat baby face too hard, and I think he could use some, aggressiveness. That's a much nicer word that I was going to say.
Yeah.
I love that he did that. Yeah. Because this aftermath mess with the Bloodline RKO is going to come together. Because that was so funny because Cody's standing here doing their thing and Solo just comes out and stands next to him. And he's just there.
It's the Weekend ripoff. And then,
oh, God.
And then the other Samoans just show up. Hey.
Right, yeah. I guess that's what we're going to see this upcoming week.
Then you get Randy Kyle Orton showing up.
Randy Kyle.
No, that's literally
and his gear too.
Yeah, that's literally his name. Is Randy
exactly.
Kyle Orton.
I thought it was Keith. Is it Keith? I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be Keith. You
Yeah.
probably. I mean, that's the reason it's called RKO. And then once they get done beating up the numerous Samoans that show up randomly,
Numerous. I should call that the bloodline, the numerous Samoans.
there's the group of numerous Samoans, and like they end up standing tall, and then Randy's looking at Cody's belt, so they might be setting up for something.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And they had Randy come out in his gear, which I noticed. So we're like, we don't have a match for him, but still be able to see him and hear his
Full
music
gear.
and all that. Full gear. Yes.
Full gear.
Glasgow Science Centre and Glasgow Tower. One of the best family-friendly attractions in the city, Glasgow Science Centre is housed inside a striking titanium building shaped like a hull of a ship. Inside, you'll find exhibits covering everything from health to technology and scientific principles. It's easy to spend the whole day at this seemingly endless hands-on facility. Kids can learn the basics of the scientific method at a variety of lab-like stations where they can conduct fun, practical, and educational experiments.
I guess we got to get into next the surprise of the evening. This one was legitimate shock for me. I didn't see it coming at all. I didn't expect any title changes, any titles to change hands. This one was especially surprising. I gotta say, everyone looked amazing. Everyone looked their gear and their makeup. They all looked all three fucking phenomenal. And they had strong spots. It was a little bit confusing to tell who was supposed to be like in the ring from each team at any particular point. It got a little confusing in spaces. And then of course, Jade's rope botch.
That was moment number 2 of the night where somebody was just like, these ropes are fucked up. Because she hits that all the time.
Exactly. It's no problem for her. That's one of the things she does very strongly.
And it was super loose. So that was the second moment of the night where you're like, okay.
Deadass. Jade tapped.
So when you watch that, I figured out what happened because it took me 3 times of watching it. She's telling Shayna to go down.
Yes,
That's what she's trying to do. But
yes.
she's tapping. And like, is she tapping? Is she tapping?
Right.
It's like, no. She's like, go down, go down, go
she
down.
Is, she is.
Because Shayna's just like, ah.
Yeah. Is there a way to?
I'm bisexual. Ah.
Is there a way to communicate that without tapping? Because that come on.
You would have had to like grab her by a thigh and be like, go down, go down, go down.
Yeah. It made everything. I think it added a level of weirdness to it.
Yeah, because once that rope thing happens, that match falls apart. It's just like the thing I've noticed with Bianca in like those last couple pay-per-view matches where something just goes awry just that quickly. And I know people want to shit on Jade because she's black and like no other like honestly that's what it is. Like they're like, Jade Cargill's not that good. It's like, well, she's a megastar. Goldberg wasn't that good, but she's fucking Goldberg. Shut up.
It's true.
The way that they were building it up, because like if you know what happened with Isla Dawn, or
yes, of course,
not Isla Dawn, but Alba.
It wasn't Isla.
Yeah, it was Alba.
Oh, okay.
So the story is that her mother flies to Florida to go visit her, and her mother, while she's in Florida, gets in a car accident. So she came from Scotland, and then she dies in Florida, and it's really sad. That is the reason why that happened, pretty much. And I know, and honestly, knowing what we know now, that should have been the hint. 2 of the 3 Scottish matches, like they ended up like not winning.
Right. Yeah.
The big thing. It was a cool moment to see them.
Oh yes, 100%.
It's funny. I like as I'm watching this, I'm like, Isla Dawn looks like a fucking streamer who gets millions of views. Like she is like if Isla Dawn had a Twitch channel, everybody would be like, God, she's so hot. I
just realized I've been confusing Isla for Alba.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the mistake because here's the thing. It came out of not because it sounds too similar, but because they haven't used them very much. This push came out of nowhere.
And I think they're trying to be the only team currently that have a name, and it's like the unholy
Union?
The whole unholy union. I'm like, that's fucking cool because these fucking tag teams need names.
They just have so and so and so and so.
Yeah, exactly. Two people that we just matched up. So I think they're not gonna have the belt long. It'll go back to Jade and Bianca, and
You think so? Okay.
yeah, the world will be it's just like they needed that win. Like one Scottish person needed to win that night.
Yes.
One of the best ways to view Glasgow is taking a self-guided walking tour. One of the main streets that you're going to come across is Buchanan Street. Buchanan Street is close to cars and it's known for its high-end street shopping and beautiful Victorian-era architecture. Fun fact, Glasgow is the second largest retail center in the United Kingdom.
Sammy Chad. Of course, Sammy retains. I really like Chad's gear for some reason. Like the fire with always love, like in that like double thing. I love this gear. I really wanted this to be the moment for Otis. This was the time to do it in a big step. Why are they edging us like this? I don't understand.
It'll either be tomorrow or Money in the Bank. It's so weird because he gets over so easily. It's
right.
Like Otis.
He just makes a face and then or turns in one direction. People go crazy because they've been really dragging it out. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fuck. Jesus.
Like the other day when he was apologizing to Sammy, and you're like, God damn, he really has had a whirlwind of a career because the whole Mandy and him thing was one of the best storylines going into the WrestleMania that was at the Performance Center.
Mandy Rose
and him was a really good storyline.
Yeah.
And it was written by the only woman writer who they fired.
This was just a good match, probably one of the better matches that were wrestled. What rope issue happened here?
So right before everything goes down with Otis, Sammy's trying to clothesline Chad Gable over the rope. And because the ropes are so loose, he can't get him over.
Right, yeah.
So it's kind of weird where it's just like come on.
Spot and then doesn't come off like it's supposed to. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the third instance of something fucked up happening with the ropes.
Oh my God, Jesus. Can't they fix it in between matches?
No, they can. They can.
That's what people were saying over on the Reddits. They were saying like, obviously need to be fixed. They're like, usually just the ref does it. It's like a wrench. It's like some kind of a wrench thing, and they just do that, but nobody did it. And someone else said something along the lines of like, maybe it was an old ring, and maybe like they don't have one over there that's their, specific brand. But I'm like, even still,
I thought they packed up and brought their own shit everywhere.
Exactly. They didn't want to fix it for reasons, or
you have to fly it or something. I don't know how they would transport it.
They just ran out of time and someone kept fucking it up. Maybe something got miscommunicated, because it is weird that like every single group had an issue with that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was weird. That's almost like someone didn't care to make sure everybody was safe.
Hello.
Or they just didn't know and didn't have the, I don't know. Feels like there was just a communication error, like with production and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or something happening.
Yeah. When did Maxine hurt her foot like that? Why was she walking around with a boot?
I think it happened a couple of weeks ago on Raw where when Otis attacks Sammy for the first time, it's because like she got pushed by Sammy and he's reacting to.
Oh, so it's a kayfabe injury then?
It's either a kayfabe injury or something, but I'm like, watching that, I'm like, God damn, Maxine looks incredible. Like,
right? Really does have the perfect look.
But like, honestly, no. Here's the thing: if Jade Cargill doesn't get the same rope that Maxine gets, then it's racist.
The same growth?
Well, not even that. Like everyone was
like
giving Jade Cargill shit. Yeah, everyone was giving Jade Cargill shit for missing that thing, and Maxine is nowhere near the wrestler that Jade Cargill is. So, what's the difference?
Oh, Maxine's white.
Thank you.
Maxine's white, and the main reason why anyone has a problem with Jade Cargill, if they do, is just because she has gotten more attention than they think she deserves, and they're mad about it, which I love.
Yeah,
Die
mad. It's the Caitlin Clark of professional wrestling,
right? Yes. Of course, Sammy retains. Otis, carrying Maxine to the back because she's all laid out like Jean Grey. People always love that kind of thing. I really needed this to be the moment. I thought for sure it was going to be the moment, and I'm annoyed. But okay.
Traveling to Glasgow, on my must things to do is visiting the Glasgow Cathedral. One of the things I love most when traveling is learning about the history of places we visit, and Glasgow is rich with history. When you think of Scotland's history, what comes to mind? Medieval castles by the loch, battlefields in the Highlands, or beautiful old town of Edinburgh with its towering castles. The Glasgow Cathedral is the only medieval cathedral on the Scottish mainland to survive the Protestant Reformation of 1560.
Bailey Piper. Piper, I think, is a future world champ. Book it.
Mhm.
She has it.
Mhm.
And this is not her second, because how many untitled shots has she had? Because she had that with Becky. This is at least her second, maybe her third.
This is a second, yeah.
Second, yeah.
And she was Fat Woman, whatever her name was. Dewdrop.
Dewdrop, yes. Yes.
Did you say that woman or
Fat Woman?
Fat
Like,
woman.
That was
Okay.
that was basically, what she was before.
yeah, like that's
Yeah.
the
That is
reason.
funny though, because Dewdrop
why
is,
you call her.
weirdly fat phobic.
Yeah.
It is.
Sounding. It's like
Yes.
what?
For sure. For fucking sure. Especially the way what they spelled it.
Do you
Horribleness.
Dewdrop?
Yes. Yeah. But I can definitely see her having that title down the line. And it's gonna be fucking great because she deserves it. It's gonna be awesome. And she was all emotional coming out. That's so great. Oh, so great for Scotland and for the Scottish people getting to perform in front of their home crowds.
Yeah,
Love her.
and she had her friend who passed away on her knee pad. He had
Oh,
his name,
really?
who was a Scottish wrestler.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, he passed away like before pandemic,
Oh, okay.
and like
Aw.
that's her first time performing in Scotland. So
Oh, it wasn't.
since then.
Oh,
Since
wow.
then.
B-Day girl for Bailey. I didn't know it was her birthday too. Holla.
All right, shout out
Yeah.
to Pamela and her outfit selections and her
Oh, that's
knowing
how you know she's a Gemini. She
and
does
her
that on
knowing
purpose.
her
Yes.
knowing what she's doing all the
Yeah.
time.
And I saw
What?
the whole thing with her boots were fucking awesome too. It
Mhm.
was a yes.
Yeah, the blazer, the pants, everything that was
Fashion.
premeditated.
Yes.
Like, Pamela, you know what you're doing. Stop this.
Turn to
Oh,
the
yeah,
left.
please stop.
to the
Don't ever do this again. We don't want to
Yeah.
see this.
Exactly.
Not
It's
in our good Christian servers.
it's the same people in the Judgment Day who are just like, well, fuck, Dom, I'm gonna do you this one favor. I'm gonna fuck Liv Morgan, and then this will be the end of it. God damn. The bird.
Like, all right already.
Yeah,
The bird.
the bird.
Is that Piper Driver? Is that her finish? It's
Yeah.
not a particularly original finishing move, but I love it on her. She makes it look so great.
Yeah,
And then Bailey kicking out of it kind of makes Bailey look even better.
but I think the real star of the match was Chelsea Green.
Absolutely.
Her pushing the referee
Yes.
and doing the Karen thing.
Yes. And she's
And
like,
then-
pick her out. She hit my foot. Really?
And then she comes back in the Rey Mysterio mask as Chelsea Verde.
Yes. Chelsea Verde. That's great. Chelsea Verde. That's fantastic. I did like her getup too, with like the little skirt and the hat. You're right. Chelsea Green Hive. She was the unwitting highlight of that match.
It's like
I cracked up when she came back out. Like, you will recognize me because
that's one of the funniest things that they never really capitalized on was her on Raw.
Mhm.
Because Adam Pearce had enough of her. So he pretty much sent her to SmackDown.
He did, yes. Like, Nick, you take this one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we're not gonna select her. It's like, well, we'll take it's like fine, perfect. Because she's just a Karen.
But Bailey retained on her birthday, like we knew it would, like we knew she would.
Mhm.
But still a fun match for Piper. And I want to see more singles matches from Piper. I always will. She's fantastic. She's great.
George Square is located at the city center and named after King George III. and it was built in 1781. Today, Glasgow Square is home to the headquarters of the Glasgow City Council and showcases an important collection of statues and monuments.
Damien Drew. Now, everyone, as soon as Alba and Isla won those titles, we're like,
Drew's
oh no.
face, I'm sorry. He's already just like,
yes, I did the text and boo boo face on him right away, and everyone clocked it. Like, oh, this is not going to be so great for Drew.
contractually obligated.
Yes,
Boo-boo
I
face.
hate on it because everyone was like, oh no, this isn't good for us. So I looked, paid a lot of attention to him. So he had this
Did it in the
big,
first place.
obvious, out with the guys with the bagpipes, real big flashy entrance, and I was like, did we see some boo boo face? There was some boo boo face. Did you spot it?
Yeah, I was just like, because the whole thing had, because I thought had the girls not won that tag team match, I would have been like, oh, cool. Piper not being Bailey, I'd be like, oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But when that happened, I was just like, I don't know how this is going to shake out. But when his boo-boo face showed up, I'm like, oh, damn.
Like, oh, man.
I'm just picturing like you guys both watching the TV and like Penny's got like the computers going enhance, and it's like, oh, let's go boo boo face.
Yes.
No, we're treating it like it's a Zapruder film. It's a Zapruder film. Back and to the left. Back and to the left. Back and to the left. Okay. So if he looks like this and like his face is turned that way, yeah, this is back and to the left. Back and to the left.
And it always happens where I'm trying to like rewind it or like 10 seconds and then it'll like freeze and I'll have to like reload the whole page. So that did mess me up. I was trying to watch it. There were several like heart and throat moments, and it would have been like a legit heart and throat moment if it had been closer to the end of the match. But there were one or two instances where I was like, man, if the timing happened right, that would have been it. The timing happened right, that would have been it. This was another one where they were quite evenly matched. They can do a lot of the same stuff and they, have the same stature. That's another one. And I wish I could see more out of the two of them because that was actually a really good fucking match. Worst rope botch of the evening. Yes.
Which,
can we agree?
Yeah, everything led up to this moment. So
right?
all four times.
Right?
Of
like
those
this seemed to get worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
God.
And then it got like when he hit that move, I was just like, oh, his knee's blown the fuck out. And because like when it happened, I had to rewind. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to watch this again. But I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And so like Drew obviously sells for it. And then he's just like, oh God, are you okay? Because they're fucking buddies. So like,
yeah,
it was just like,
they're pros. Yeah.
And so Drew sells the move and then like stomps on him to make it seem, and he's checking in on him as he's stomping on him.
Right.
And then he plays to the crowd to make sure, like, hey, is he okay?
I'll give you some time to get out of this.
Yeah. And the referee was just like, I can't get him out. And I'm like, mother, stop. No, bro, get him the fuck out of that.
Oh God, how bad.
And so like when it happened, I was just like, please, I hope he could finish this match.
Limp through the rest of it. And not a bad limp, but definitely favored it.
Yeah. And so like when that happened, I was just like, because like that happened so early in the match.
Yes.
I was just I was waiting for something to happen where I'm like, oh God, he's done. But the adrenaline went through his soul, something Cody Rhodes. But like he ended up fucking kicking ass and finishing that match. And it was cool. Like I know he's a transitional champion. Things like this show you why he is where he's at.
Yes, absolutely.
How he responded, and he limped his way through, and he was hitting those kicks too.
Right.
That was a solid match, and you know.
But the second priest hits the ref, the shenanigans are gonna shenan again.
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
anytime a rep gets messed up, fuck. Shenanigans.
Because one of the things I don't like about our time in social media is people being like, I just took this picture with CM Punk at this team store because he was buying a FC Celtics the football club for Scotland, the rival football club for Scotland. So Drew's a fan of the other.
Ah, that's great.
Team, so he's just fucking with them.
That's fantastic.
And so the way that they shot it really highlights the fact that Kevin Dunn is fucking gone.
It annoyed me personally. I was like, because no one else can see him until they saw him. Everyone else saw him.
I was just like, that's a weird camera angle.
Right?
And I'm like, this works. And as soon as he slides in and counting, and then I'm like, wait, why is this referee wearing low Chicago Jordan 1s? And I'm like, oh God.
Like, those are obvious shoes.
He counts to 2 and doesn't count to 3 to make it even worse. Drew had that shirt made of him doing the peace sign at CM Punk's main event grave.
Yes.
And that's the same peace sign that CM Punk is doing to him.
Oh my God, you're right. 2. Oh,
it's
the layers.
It's the exact same. Drew backs him into the corner. He kicks him in the nuts, and then Priest didn't see it, and the referee didn't see it as well. So
ref comes back just at the right moment.
I wanted to be in that arena.
Yeah.
Because I said it. I was just like, man, if it happens, like we have to do a live show. Obviously, we have our own live, so we didn't do a live show. But like, goddamn, everybody was pissed. Like you watch the videos. Like the Coleaholic guys are directly
backing out, and there's a kid like this.
Yeah,
a small child like that.
Fuck you. And then like, it's because CM Punk it's weird because he's not the villain.
Not the villain.
He's not. I mean, he's not the villain. Like he's justified. Okay, so you make your return to the ring after 8 years, and you get hurt by a guy, Drew McIntyre, and it derails your dream of always wanting to main event at WrestleMania. Great. So the next night, Drew McIntyre comes out as you're saying, like, "Hey, I'm going to be gone for a long time." And Drew McIntyre's like, "I prayed for this." And it happened. He beats him up, and then literally spins.
Yeah, you're right.
Like. Yes. Almost 2 months slagging off the guy. Just like, fuck CM Punk, fuck everything he stands for. I'm going to be trolling him for 2 months. The biggest moment of your career, you win a world championship in front of everybody. What's the first thing you do? You talk shit to this guy who you hurt. And he beats you up because he's had enough of it.
Yeah.
And so now you're incensed. And the next night, you're about to win the match to get a shot opportunity at the championship. And that guy you've been fucking with grabs your foot, stops you from winning the championship. Like every time, like you guys keep missing each other. And you're still talking shit to him.
Yeah.
Like it's a perfect story.
It's true. Anywhere else, Drew would be the obvious heel there. It just happened to be he was in his home country.
Exactly.
It just got flipped.
It's like
next time you're in Chicago, you better watch where you're stepping. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, they're gonna be in Chicago on Thursday. So
on Thursday?
On Friday. They're gonna be in SmackDown.
That's why okay. So I did hear that for some reason CM Punk is not going to be at Raw tomorrow. Does that mean he's just gonna turn up on SmackDown? He's not on the roster.
CM Punk,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, CM Punk is pretty much a free agent, but they don't want to say he's a free agent. Like he's the Brock Lesnar, where he's just like, how much money are we spending on him? Put him on every fucking show. Put him in NXT. Put him just all that shit. So
I thought that they drafted him to Raw.
They did.
There's another. See that they did, and it doesn't matter.
It was a dumbass draft. So. Yeah, that happens, and you can hear like a pin drop towards the end. And there's a video online where when you're done at WWE events, they're like, the announcer will be like, "Well, thank you guys for coming out. This was a pleasure having y'all." And as soon as she starts talking, they're booing her. It was so because I'm like, yeah, you saw how much these people had to fucking pay for this. They expected this guy to not get screwed 2 years after the first Clash of the Castle. Like, don't even have Drew McIntyre main event because some shenanigans are gonna happen. If you have a Clash of Castle next year, like if Drew,
you better not book him for that shit.
Do not put him in the main event.
Is this sort of like a curse thing, as opposed like
I mean,
like
it's
the other
cursed now.
Scottish thing?
It is cursed
the other
now.
Scottish thing, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of a curse now. And I think it just so happened that in both instances, it wasn't the move they wanted to make. It wasn't the thing that worked. Because no, of course not. No one was going to beat Roman, especially not with him surrounded by all the numerous Samoans. That wasn't going to happen. I really wanted it to, but it wasn't the direction they wanted to go in. Here, honestly, the CM Punk story is too good for them not to do it this way. It's just too good. It just so happened that in both situations, it wasn't the right thing to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if Drew knew this when he signed his contract a few months ago. Wouldn't be surprised at all. What would you give this overall? I give it a B.
It's a
B minus for the ropes.
It's a C. So like it's a 7 out of 10. Like there are.
I'm taking off points for.
I'm taking off points because the tag match, the ropes, and the matches weren't. Yeah, the matches weren't like the level of Backlash. Like we're gonna be forever comparing everything with Backlash.
Yeah.
It was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But it's still just interesting enough to watch it, and
of course, especially for that ending.
Yeah, and
which everybody did call. We all knew it was going to happen, but it still hurt.
Yeah, like I mean, honestly, if I paid fucking $400 for nosebleeds and I wanted to see Drew McIntyre win, and I would be pissed too.
Amen. Definitely.
Like the thing that they don't really say is like those premium live events that are foreign, like they're charging an arm and a leg because they know they can. Like they're in America every week. Like when like when we go to
we're never here any other time. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, when we go to WrestleMania next year, we're gonna buy tickets the week of because it's not gonna be fucking sold out because it's too high of a price for the Americans, and like that's who you're trying to get in. So we're gonna buy tickets the week of, most likely the day of. Like we can get the NXT
day of, really?
Yeah,
wow.
We can get the NXT tickets easy. Like
okay,
no one wants to wake up at 9 a.m. and watch wrestling that bad. So like,
well, no, that's Penny's ideal time. Remember,
it is
morning wrestling. That's her jam.
I have to get it out of the way early. Well, because I think I grew up with that.
Yeah, it's your setting. That's what you want. Exactly. Such a time for it.
Yeah,
I can understand why there was such frustration in that crowd because they wanted to see that, but that is inherently wrestling, where it's making you feel something. When all those other times happen, like you're gonna keep watching. Like it's not very much like, well, there's no hope for that. It's like, no, there's gonna be a bigger story that's going on with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
So you just have to sit down and enjoy it.
I thought perhaps if they ended up giving Drew the belt, that they would make it a triple threat at SummerSlam for, to include CM Punk. But Charlotte Flair is not involved, so they don't have to make it a triple threat.
It's like, hey, Charlotte Flair needs to be in this somehow.
Right?
So
yeah.
And then Nikki Cross is giving a boo-boo face.
I think if they did that, they would have to go that route. Because they've got to do Drew CM Punk.
Yeah. I mean, these motherfuckers have talked themselves into
circles.
This,
yes.
So you might as well do it.
Follow us on the social medias. On YouTube, we are at Home Wrestling League. Twitter, we are at _HWL. And at Instagram, we are at home_wrestling_league. Let me see. We do post episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube. So you have your choices of which you would like to watch us at. If you're listening on Spotify, check out the poll and the Q&A. Give us ratings. Let us know what you think. Give us a 2 if you hate me and a 5 if you like us. And write something nice if you like us and mean if you don't. But you know how it works usually here at Home Wrestling League. Things just end on a poor note sometimes if you're Scottish.